we're commemorating two events. The first one, of course, is the 70th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. 70 years, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. But we must always remember Pearl Harbor. How many of you people were around when that happened? Okay. I was too, but I was only in the 3rd grade. And I didn't even know where Pearl Harbor was. Well, I found out the next three or 4 years. But it's very important, and if you've been there, it's very emotional. To stand on the deck of the Arizona, look down at the bowels of the ship, and know that there are about 1,700 sailors and Marines that are still entombed there. Those of you of my generation will never forget Pearl Harbor. Those of you who are younger, your Pearl Harbor is 9/11. Same thing, only a different generation. So let us not ever forget. Would you state your name?
I'm Ferris Walker.
And where were you born?
April 24th, 1917.
Oh my God.
I hit 94 last Easter.
How old were you when you entered military service?
Oh, let's see, 24.
Oh, you're pretty old.
20. Oh yeah, I was 24 or 25. $27
A month.
a day.
A month.
Well, a month. But we had a song. $27 a day, once a month. So it worked. I remember when we took off, we got to Oakland, California, boarded ships, and they said we had to leave right away, and heck, they didn't even have time to put food, on the ship for us. But they did have oranges and saltine crackers, and that's what we ate. That's what we ate for went into Oahu. Battle of Midway had started, and so they took us. We went to our gun positions and set the guns up, but they never came. There was an the Japanese had on their big subs had an airplane with folded wings, and one of those come over, and we shot at it, but he stayed away from us, and hell, we missed him. But our fighters got him. Some of our fighters nailed him. But I wanted to fly. Being in the Army, everything goes alphabetical, and I was, of course, Walker. I was at the tail end. I went to take my eye test, and by golly, I couldn't quite read the numbers. So the ophthalmologist there says, well, I'll tell you, why don't we go to lunch? And he says, come down to officer's mess, and we'll come back up, we'll try it again. So we went up and I tried it. And he says, okay, now can't you see that chart says LMZRBVK? And he says, say it. So I says, God, I forget it now. But anyway, he says, okay, now try the other eye. And I did that, and I missed one. He says, well, you're close enough. That's it. So you're now. So you're now in the Air Corps. We brought a plane over, too, and we had named it. You always had goofy names for it. We were call it the 8-ball crew. The Passionate Prostitute was the name. You're flying, and you see all this flak coming up and things exploding everywhere. You're not going to get hit. you just know it. Somebody else will, but you know darn well that you're not going to. I mean, you had to believe that, you know. And Nate, did you experience that, or were you flying at all?
No, I was in the armor. I was in a tank.
Oh, oh, I see. Yeah, that's too bad. He was in a tank.
Now, the fighter aircraft that you came up against, were they Messerschmitts or Focke-Wulfs? Do you remember? M109s or 190s?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
You were in the tail.
Well, I'd see them, but they were way off, and we were so fortunate, as far as the fighters go, they'd dive down and come under us, and then come up and get the bomb group ahead of us, or squadrons up ahead.
I was going to ask you, how uncomfortable was a B-17 at 20,000 feet on oxygen?
Well, it was fine. Well, you kept that oxygen on. But one thing, you had to keep squeezing the thing to break, because your
Ice?
the moisture in you, was forming ice, and the ice crystals all over your lap. And of course we had,
In electric suits, didn't you?
yeah,
Electric flying suits?
electric suits, yeah.
Now, as a tail gunner, you were pretty cramped in that space, weren't you?
Well, as I think of it, I'd say no. Yes, yeah. But at the time, hell, that's where you rode it, and we'd go on a mission, and it would run from 6 to 8, maybe even 9 hours.